Welcome to another Zincast, and yes, we're doing another daily dose of NHL news and plays. And listen, I had to say, you guys miss me? I missed you. I did. But last time we talked was Friday, I believe. Friday, yeah. And what did we talk about on Friday? I gave you some tidbits of information going through the weekend. One of them was the Los Angeles Kings versus the Edmonton Oilers. Remember, I said that series was going tied to LA at one game apiece, and I said that they're coming out of LA, both teams, tied 2-2, okay? So they split that, and I think we should pick up right there for last night's game versus the LA Kings visiting the Edmonton Oilers, the highly favorite Edmonton Oilers, and they had to go to OT, and this was an amazing OT goal. About minute 30 into OT, Kempe scores the OT winner for the Kings, and the Kings have a 3-2 series lead. This stunned the Edmonton crowd, and Edmonton, I can tell you, a team that has had so many first-round disappointments, being down 3-2, it's not going to be easy for them to win the two games. Now, if there's any team that can win 2 games in a row, it's the high-powered, high-offense Edmonton Oilers. But remember, Quick shut them out once. If Quick has another steal a game, this is over. And listen, if the Kings just play the way they played yesterday, they were attacking, they came out with force, they came out with speed. Next game, the Kings really need to buckle down. They have to realize Edmonton's going to come out firing in all cylinders. If they can hold and keep the damage to a minimum in that first period, maybe get a cheap goal, a dirty goal, this series can be over. But remember, this is my upset pick. I picked the Kings in 7. So right now, I'm close. So we'll see how that goes. Let's talk about another series. The Washington Capitals versus the Florida Panthers. This one, the last game, was on Monday. Washington was up 2-1, and this was a chance for Washington to take a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. This also had to go to OT, but the Panthers do squeak out the win. They actually tied it late and won it in OT. And, I mean, listen, Bobrovsky for the Panthers in net. I was saying the Panthers have an Achilles heel. It's Bobrovsky in net, and it's showing. But they're lucky that they are tied 2-2 going in this. I know I picked the Florida Panthers to win it all, but I think Washington has a shot here. Huge game 5 tonight. Game 5 tonight. Someone will be up 3-2 in that series. We'll find out who. Let us shift some more gears. Let's go to the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. And this series has been back and forth. It's like one team hits with a haymaker, it's a blowout. And then next team hits with a haymaker, and it's a blowout. It really seems like in each game, one team has dominated the other team throughout the game. And they were all entertaining games, but some of them just feel out of hand. And this game looked like it might start off that way. Remember, this game coming into the series was 2-2, and the Lightning grab a 2-0 lead in the first period. But then the Leafs go to work, and they follow it up with the game-winning goal by Austin Matthews. And this is just a pretty goal. This is like a shot pass off the goalie's pads there. And Matthews finishes it, and they win 4-3, and they take a 3-2 series lead. I think if Toronto went down 3-2 to Tampa Bay, I think it would have been over. I think that would have been in their heads. Them being up. Listen, remember, this is not just like Edmonton. They had disappointing first-round exits for quite some time, and they really need to win this series. But having a 3-2 edge in this, unlike Edmonton, they have some confidence, and they have the ability to make a mistake, and it won't bury them. But they don't want to. They want to close this out in Game 6. Let us move on to the Boston Bruins versus the Carolina Hurricanes, the Black and Blue series. Every whistle, after every whistle, there are some fisticuffs. There are some people getting together. This one has been crazy. And after Carolina won 2 games at home, they went to Boston. They lost those 2. Series tied 2-2. But last night, back in Carolina, the Carolina Hurricanes, I don't know what I was about to call them there, the Carolina Hurricanes. By the way, it's plural hurricanes, not hurricane. You would think that one hurricane is powerful enough, but no, there are multiple hurricanes. And I digress. They put up 5 and beat up on the Boston Bruins and take a 3-2 series lead, and that will shift to Boston for Game 6 tomorrow. And at that point, right now, each team is holding serve at home, so we'll see if Boston can continue that trend and force a Game 7. Let us go to the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the New York Rangers. And Louis Domingue, the third string, again, I want to say quarterback. For some reason, in hockey, it's very odd to say third string, okay? in football, you say it a lot more. But in hockey, it's very, very odd. So the third string goaltender, Louis Domingue, he actually only let up 2 goals for once in this playoffs. And the Penguins put on the rout 7-2. They chase Igor Shesterkin for the second game in a row. Crosby had an amazing game. Gensel had an amazing game. The Penguins look like a team on a mission. They are up 3-1 in the series. Game 5 is tonight in New York. And the keys for the Penguins to win this game is going into this game pretending you're tied 2-2, pretending you're tied 1-1, not going in thinking, hey, we have this, okay? You have to go in, you have to play hard, you have to play like your back is still against the wall. Remember, Rangers were the favorite in this. I even picked the Rangers to win the series. And if they could score a goal early on Igor Shesterkin, they could rattle the number 1 goaltender because he looks rattled right now. The way he played them in the regular season, I didn't think that this would be possible in the postseason, but that's why they play playoff games. They don't just look at the regular season and say, oh, all right, you beat this team, so therefore you get on to the next round. As for the Rangers, what are the keys for them to win this game? Well, they got to take it one game at a time. They have to play like there is no tomorrow because there is no tomorrow. And we're going to see what these young kids are made of. That's the problem here for the Rangers. That young talent that they have does not have playoff experience, and they don't know what it's like to be down in this situation. So they might not know how to approach this game, and that's what the coaching staff comes in. The Penguins have been in this situation a lot. They've been in the other reverse situation a lot. They have a ton of playoff experience, and you know what? It is showing here. Though you will say, Louis Domingue in net has not had playoff experience. So, listen, he's just got to keep it close, and the Penguins need to score. Fourth one's the hardest one to get. If I had to pick, I think the Rangers hold on, and then Penguins go back home for Game 6. All right, we're going way out of order here. Let's talk about St. Louis and Minnesota. Fleury still in net. This series also tied 2-2. And yesterday, St. Louis takes a 3-2 lead in this series with a 5-2 victory. Tereshchenko, the Hattie, throw your hats to him. I made a prediction last week. I think it was Friday. I said if St. Louis is going to win this series, I think we see Binnington again. And Binnington came back. And he's been playing now for St. Louis, and I think his experience in the playoffs is what St. Louis needs. Minnesota's got Fleury, Kirill the Thrill, Kaprizov or Kriprasov. I don't know if that I is a I or an I or ni. But he is so fun to watch. The kid's got awesome talent. He had 2 goals in this one. The only 2 goals that the Wild had, both on the power play, by the way. And again, the Blues power play seems to always score, and that's really been the Wild's problem. They cannot take penalties, and now their backs are against the wall. I picked Minnesota, but this was a coin flip type series, but I'm not too sure if they can win 2 games in a row. But listen, with Fleury in net, I think at this point you're committed to him, and you're going to have to give it your best shot. Stay out of the penalty box is all I can say for Minnesota. The Dallas Stars versus the Calgary Flames. And this one was also tied 2-2 going into last night's. No, I'm sorry. This is currently tied 2-2, and it is Game 5 is tonight, and the Flames pull out the victory 4-1 in this one. Oettinger for Dallas had to make 50 saves. Markstrom had to make 34 saves. So the goalies, even though this one was a 4-1 victory for the Flames, it was still, the goalies had a lot of work. Remember, Game 1, the goalies faced barely any shots. I think it was a 1-0 I think it was a 1-0 win, right? So they're beginning to pick up the offense, and the teams are getting comfortable. I picked the Flames in that one, and we will see tonight who takes the series lead in that. And let us move to the Colorado Avalanche versus the Nashville Predators, and the sweep was in. Remember, we said, hey, if the Predators were missing their starting goaltender, Saros, that this series was going to be over before it began, and the sweep, the brooms, and that's exactly what happened. Even with Saros, I think I was saying it would be 5-game series. But, hey, they brought out those brooms, and the Avalanche are the first team to advance. So now they get to sit back, relax, rest, hopefully not too much rest, while they watch all these really close, highly contested matchups. I think the only other matchup the Penguins versus the Rangers. The only other matchup that's a little bit more lopsided, 3-1. All the other ones are 3-2s, right? They're all 3-2s. Yeah, I'm checking here, and that's what it looks like. Yeah, that is the story. So everything, and that's what I love about playoff hockey. Wonder how many Game 7s we could get. Remember, bunch of 3-2s. Those teams can't close it out. We're going to a whole bunch of Game 7s. I think Boston, Carolina goes to Game 7. I think Toronto, Tampa Bay goes to Game 7. I think Edmonton and LA go to Game 7. Washington, Florida. Yeah, I could see that in 6, but I mean that has a high probability of going to Game 7, just the way the games have been going. Same thing with St. Louis, Minnesota, and Dallas. Pretty much, I just told you every game has a chance to go to Game 7. Oh, I love playoff hockey. All right, so tonight, again, my show, so I got to root for my team. I'm making the Louis Domingue special, his thin-baked chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel, and he posts baking recipes. And before game 3, I made these cookies and consumed them during the game, and the Penguins won. Before Game 4, I finished off the remainder of those cookies. It was like a bunch of cookies. I'll put a picture. There's a lot of cookies, okay? So I finished them off during the game, and the Penguins, again, won Game 4. So now we're going into Game 5. I'm all out of cookies, so you know what that means. I'm going to be baking today, and we'll be eating some more cookies tonight, because we will do anything possible to finish this series off. The 4th one, like I said, the hardest to get. Let's go, Penguins. Guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and comment below. Hit the notification bell. And listen, this week's a little bit crazy. There are weddings coming up. There are weddings next week also. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening in my life, and I'll try to get out some videos. But listen, you have this one, and if not, we'll talk in the beginning of the 2nd round. If there's a whole bunch of Game 7s, hopefully I'll be able to post a video trying to, make the picks in those ones. But again, have a good one, everyone, and enjoy the playoff hockey. You know I am.